Peach and wings.
Welcome back to the Pizza and Wings podcast. I'm Chase.
It's your boy, Billie.
I'm Tyler.
This is Dylan. Bigfoot.
Cole here. Loch Ness Monster.
Oh.
Question
I'm Jake. Wow, we're gonna hunt Bigfoot. We're gonna hunt him big.
That's our plan.
That is the plan. Eventually. But anyway, speaking of Bigfoot, gentlemen, do y'all believe in Bigfoot? Do you believe he exists?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we gonna welcome everybody back. We had a week off, everybody having a good Thanksgiving.
Hope everybody did have a good Thanksgiving.
I mean, I've been dying, so there's been that for my Thanksgiving.
Billy had the common cold. All right, relax.
It's a real thing still, believe it or not.
Does Bigfoot celebrate Thanksgiving? Like, does he kill a
definitely.
turkey and do you think he cooks it in the woods? and stuff?
Definitely.
I think he was
Think he
at
has
first
the-
Thanksgiving.
He has
no
the
proof that he
in-laws
wasn't.
over.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have a family?
Yeah,
course.
Bigfoots. How do you think they've survived so long? I got
Yeah, him and
like-
the in-laws come over.
There's like tens of thousands of Bigfoot out there.
Oh yeah.
Tens of thousands.
Oh yeah. You think there's one? You think one Bigfoot travels the United States and
Whoa,
I mean, he
whoa,
could.
whoa,
someone takes a blurry picture of him and then he runs away until he runs to Arizona from New Mexico?
you would think
kind of happens with all the alien ones.
You would think if there was tens of thousands of Bigfoot, we'd have actual clear pictures of them.
There are, but everybody says they're fake, so
Patterson
we have
the OG one.
confirmed real species that are endangered with less numbers than tens of thousands.
well there
know?
maybe okay. I don't know what the worldwide Bigfoot
They're not as
population
smart
is.
as Bigfoot. Like a bird's gonna get caught in a tree. Like Bigfoot's gonna run away and hide.
Birds aren't real.
They also don't have powers like Bigfoot.
Exactly.
Powers.
Okay, so that's
Jeez.
that's actually a debate you could have. You think they're supernatural then?
So it's
Not-
like a
I think
Shadow
so.
Walker.
Not necessarily, but I think they're extremely elusive.
Elusive.
Well,
6'7"
a deer is
Sasquatch.
elusive.
Yeah, but
Getting
They're
your
like
ankles
super
broken off
camo
with
and
a
shit.
cord.
I think Bigfoot can go between the paranormal and real life. So if you were to chase a Bigfoot in the woods, if you seen him, he would disappear pretty easily because he could just teleport.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like a Batman thing where you just turn around, it's gone, like that kind of.
Like a Michael Myers type thing.
Yeah, like where it could just either speed or something, and it's gone.
Well, I mean, he is really tall, so he should be fast as well.
Yeah, he's
long
super
legs. You got that big stride going.
He's faster than the Flash.
yeah,
Faster
I,
than the Flash.
Perhaps.
I don't know if I necessarily believe they're supernatural. There is this guy on YouTube I've watched that makes me think they are, because some of the stuff he catches, how fast they move and can disappear, and how you can't see them and stuff, like how camouflaged they are.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always thought in my mind that it was just like somewhere left over from evolution or something, like between us and apes or something.
Gigantopithecus.
Yeah, like left over from him, but they're just super smart and they've just
Oh yeah. Look at gorillas and monkeys. They're smart as hell. This is just a bigger version of that, just being super smart.
Interesting. Do y'all think that Bigfoot and Yetis are connected to each other?
Yeah, probably like cousins or something.
Yeah,
Mhm.
same
Yeah, they're
type of
probably
family.
pals.
It's probably how there's Arctic cats and then there's normal cats. Maybe it's the same thing. That's
Okay.
and Yetis are.
Just a winter version of the Bigfoot.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeti's cool.
Now, do y'all think that Bigfoots are all around the world? Because typically the only sightings of Bigfoot is in the U.S. and Canada, and then only signing Yetis are in the Himalayas. So, do y'all think there's such thing as Bigfoot in Europe or Bigfoot in Africa?
Yeah,
You know?
I think they have stories of them in about every country or something, right?
I think there's different ones.
Yeah, like they all had their own version. I don't know
Yeah,
what
just
like
a different
Europe's version
name.
is, but like
Yeah,
Like they look
different
for
name.
what's it? The Yaren. I think that's like China version. It's like a Canada has a Sasquatch.
yeah, which is just Sasquatch. Like there's
Like what
nothing.
Jake's saying, or not Jake, Chase saying, like with the Yeti, like Nepal, that's like where the Yeti is supposed to be from,
Mhm.
like in the Himalaya mountains. Yeah, I think like Australia has their own version.
Australia's got everything.
Yeah, so they have a bunch of Bigfoots probably that are like poisonous and stuff.
Probably, yeah. Oh gosh.
Yeah, those are the like because Australia always has something crazy, so it's like an 8-legged
Mm-hmm.
Bigfoot or some shit. Because
That would be
everything in Australia can
terrifying.
kill you. So
But
Chase,
the,
you're
like-
usually Mr. Skeptic, so are you going to tell us Bigfoot isn't
Well,
real or something?
Well, I mean, I usually when it comes to like I'm not that I don't believe it, but it's more like I'm more like a 5 out of 10 like on the belief scale. Like if 10 out of 10 was like I believe, I'm like a 5 out of 10 usually on a lot of this stuff. You know?
Yeah.
Like until I see it for myself like in person, I'm probably going to stick to like that 5 to 6 out of 10 area.
Okay, I'm kind of well, I'm not. I'm kind of the same way. Like I much more believe in ghosts than Bigfoot, but like
Like I'm not going to
Bigfoot really,
discount it,
yeah.
but I'm also not going to say I believe it, you know.
Yeah, I could see that.
But like, so what about like Wendigos? What do y'all know about Wendigos?
Dude, we just fought some Wendigos the other day,
I
didn't
don't
Yeah.
know what that is.
You fought some Wendigos.
we? Yeah.
we had
you
to run
talking about?
from them. There was a bunch of them in the woods. Yeah, it happened.
Yeah.
I mean, I know how to trap one, but that's about it.
How do you trap a Wendigo?
Well, considering they have them huge antlers, you hang little sandbags by ropes from the ceiling, and he gets all tangled up, and then he can't move.
Oh,
true.
okay. I thought you were
They-
going
they have big
some
antlers,
like
so-
elaborate plan.
Billy, don't you claim that you're like Indian or something?
I am like 10% Creek Indian.
And like the Wendigo is from like Native American folklore, so you should know what a Wendigo is.
Okay, Mr. Guy over here that knows everything about me. I don't know what that is. Like I've heard of it, but I don't know.
You
what
can't
it
sit here and claim what you are and then not know something about it.
It's in your DNA, Billy.
You should have been running from
literally.
Wendigos your whole life.
Like,
Ear to the ground,
That's
eye
why-
to the
that's why-
sky,
that's
Billy.
why- that's why I guess I'm locked and loaded at all times.
That's fair.
See,
can you shoot Wendigos? I don't know if you can.
well, we're about to find out.
But a
Come
Wendigo
on.
is like a giant deer-looking demon thing. It's pretty
Yeah.
creepy.
Yeah,
Hmm.
they'd be pretty scary to run into, I'll tell you that.
So, what's the folklore behind those? Because I don't really remember.
So
no idea.
So Wendigos, they're it's according to this, it says they're creatures that appear as a monster with some human characteristics, or as a spirit who has possessed a human and made the human monstrous.
Interesting.
And they're historically associated with cannibalism, murder, insatiable greed, and cultural taboos against like certain behaviors.
Mhm.
See, that's what's kind of interesting about them and like Bigfoot, because like the Native Americans have them in their history for like they're on like cave drawings and stuff forever. So it's
Yeah.
like, and they didn't have like sci-fi, for the Indians or anybody back then. So it's like, do you think they just made it up? I don't think so.
There could have been Wendigos fighting Sasquatch, and that's what we think dinosaurs were.
All right, here we go.
That
with
is a valid point. I would agree with that.
There we go with the
100%.
Here's the Native American version of the Wendigo. They say that it's a gigantic spirit that's over 15 feet tall, and that has been transformed from human into a creature by magic. And
Okay.
they say it usually has glowing eyes, long yellowed fangs, long claws, and a overly long tongue.
So it's Gene Simmons.
Hey. What'd that
Gene
mouth
Simmons.
do, though?
The creature also has a set of skills and powers, including stealth. It's a near perfect hunter, and it knows every inch of its territory, and also can control the local weather through dark magic.
Do you think that's like the same thing as like a skinwalker?
I
Mm,
not necessarily because I think skinwalkers can take any form.
Yeah.
They're usually like animals, right? They're always like in the woods. Like,
No,
It
tending
can
animals.
take
Well, they
forms of
could be, yeah.
people, I think too.
I thought those
Yeah.
were more like
So-
coyote type
So
things.
skinwalkers are actually from Navajos, is who came up with, or who started talking about skinwalkers. Says they're a type of harmful witch who has the ability to turn in, possess, or disguise themselves as an animal. Interesting.
That is
Yeah.
interesting.
There's actually a pretty known. It's on Reddit. A Wendigo versus Skinwalker in a fight. Who would win?
Ooh. What's the odds on that?
I mean, it's saying the
Freaking Wendigo.
Skinwalker can. It's saying the Skinwalker could turn into an eagle and kind of scout its enemy out, so it could be seeing what the Wendigo's all about.
Well, I guess like Skinwalker could turn into like a big ass animal.
Yeah, it
You
turns
know,
it could turn into a snake and sneak up behind it and bite it.
But are
Yeah,
snakes
okay.
real?
Skinwalkers are kind of
Well,
cheat codes.
That's still yet to be seen. So
Did anyone see a snake today?
No.
Yeah,
no,
so
it's
it's
wintertime.
because they're not real. So.
Why are snakes not real?
We
They don't have legs and arms. How do you trust them?
They don't.
You don't trust the guy with
Wait. So things that don't have legs, you don't use
Or arms.
or arms.
Yep.
So you don't trust birds?
Birds aren't real. We talked about that.
What about fish?
No.
Fish aren't in the same category.
There's a snake.
But they don't have legs or arms.
Did you see a
What
fish
about-
today?
What about worms?
No, I haven't.
Well,
Is a worm technically a small snake?
Well, worms aren't real because snakes aren't real. Because worms just like a little snake.
yeah, I don't know.
So that would mean the snakehead fish isn't real.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely, it's double not real.
I didn't see one today. How do I know?
Double not real.
Crisscross.
Applesauce?
Ah. Oh man. So what's like your Bigfoot around you, Chase? Is it just Sasquatch? Does it have like a different name or anything?
It's pretty much just Sasquatch. Yeah.
Okay. Because I've heard like you get down Florida, they're called skunk apes, and then
What?
I got a
Yeah.
couple of those pictures of the skunk ape in Florida. It's kind of scary looking.
so
Wait,
that's
is this
what
real?
I was telling you earlier about that guy that I watch sometimes that catches. That's where he's at in Florida, and they've gotten hair samples and stuff, and their hair is actually like clear almost. So that's why they're so hard to see. Because when they get in like the bush
Mm-hmm.
with like moss and shit growing on them, like you look just like a tree. You can't even tell that they're there. But
'Cause,
it's called a skunk ape because they smell really bad. So anytime people have a sighting or like get near one, it smells like a really bad skunk smell.
Well, if you
Yeah.
walked around the Everglades without taking a shower for
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like,
you smell like skunk.
dude, you're
too.
tromping around in the
I mean-
swamp in the middle of the summer. You're gonna be smelling bad, dude.
And like that.
That's some rank ass.
Chase, have you ever heard of the Alta Mahaha?
What?
That's the cryptid that's supposedly in Georgia.
I gotta look this up.
That really just sounded like you said. Needs some Alta
Well, I think
Maha.
he said it like really since he said it really broken up. But I've heard of
It's like
something
it's
similar to that.
It's a sea creature looking thing. It looks like a giant, like a little Loch Ness monster.
I have not heard about.
The Alta Mahaha.
The Kamehameha. Goku.
It lives in
know?
small streams and abandoned rice fields.
Abandoned
Jeez,
rice
no.
fields.
Run.
Chase.
Near
Oh,
the mouth
man.
of the Alta Maha River
Oh,
in southeast Georgia.
I've never heard of that.
That's where I'm at.
it's
Well,
in his backyard.
Look out the window. Is there an Alta Maha out there?
Chase pulls
No,
out
I
the
don't
little.
see that, but I
Let's
see
go
just a
out.
random guy standing outside though.
He might be the Antamaha.
Chase
You
pulls
never
out the
know.
rice rake. Starts going at. Oh lord.
Oh god.
But
Just looking at the other states with other stuff like Pennsylvania, Snoop, we have the squonk,
The squonk.
and it's supposed to live up in Johnstown where I do some work sometimes, and it's like a little half naked pig salamander thing. So
The squonk.
Don't you
right
guys
around
have
Johnstown.
Mothman and stuff like that up there?
Mothman is a Virginia thing or a West Virginia thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's West Virginia.
Cause see, that was like, wasn't that supposedly like he escaped from like a government like facility or some shit?
Cole, do you
Here,
see
hold on,
pictures
I
of
got
this
something
thing?
pulled up for it.
Of the squonk? Yeah, it's
Because
horrible.
that could be like a thing, like they experimented on a human and he escaped or something. That'd be kind of cool.
Cole, are you sure this isn't what you seen out your window that one night?
It might have been the
That was the
squonk,
bear that you
that-
claimed was so big.
Yeah, I had a 6,000-pound black bear outside my house one day.
6,000.
It's a world record.
So
It's like 150 top.
So the very first sighting of the Mothman is on November 15th, 1966, when two young
the bridge?
couples. What?
Was it on the bridge? That thing is cool. It destroys bridges and stuff.
Doesn't
supposedly.
necessarily say that, but it says two young couples told the police that they saw a large black creature whose eyes glowed red standing on the side of the road near what's quote unquote the TNT area, which is a site of former World War II munitions plant.
Hmm.
They said they described it as a slender, muscular man about 7 feet tall with white wings.
Because see, I
With
kind of
white
always thought about, like, I've heard that, but like I thought it was like maybe that's the munitions thing, but there was like a government facility nearby, and it was like a Stranger Things thing, like escaped and like they had mutated it from a human or something. I don't know.
See, that's another theory I have, at least with Bigfoot, where it's like it could be like a radioactive thing, like the government or something.
You know what's funny,
Somehow got
Jake?
involved.
So I was talking about that guy in Florida, right? Where the area they go out in is just national forest, like Everglades or whatever. But the government has cows there, and they don't really know why. And his theory is that they're feeding Bigfoot with the cows because it's just like in the middle of the Everglades that no one owns. There's a government like field with cows in it, and like, he said the only reason like what. So he thinks that like maybe that's what the skunk ape like creature things out there are, like the government's like watching after him or something. I don't know.
Well,
It's probable.
it shows that they're not greedy either if they're not taking them all at once. You know,
Yeah,
imagine
they're
his
smart about
diet's
it, yeah.
probably like. Imagine how much it's got to eat a day just to sustain itself.
I don't know. I don't think it'd have to eat too much more than us. I mean, it's bigger than us,
I mean,
but
Well,
not
yeah, but-
all of them are.
Yeah, but just figure it lives outside with like the temperature change and the rain and stuff. You're gonna burn a lot more calories.
Yeah, I
I
guess
would
so.
see it close to almost like a like between a human and a bear.
Yeah, it'd probably have to eat like what
Well,
a bear eats.
Well,
Yeah,
see,
somewhere
Jake brings up a
between
good
there
point.
when it comes to, like calories and stuff.
See, and Jake brings up a good point with the bear thing because bears can slow down their calorie usage and everything, like when they hibernate and stuff.
Apparently, bears don't actually hibernate. I've seen a thing about that. So like they like not what you would think. Like they don't just sleep for 3 months. They're like awake some of the time.
Yeah,
Like they just kind of sit there and like they're really, like you said, they slow their like heart rate down and they conserve calories, but they're not actually sleeping for like 3 months straight.
Just
Yeah, as
chilling.
kids, we thought like they would go in a den and sleep for a couple months and come out and be
Yeah,
like,
they're-
"Yo, what's up?" Like,
They just don't really come outside. Is the whole thing.
yeah, they're smart. They don't want to be in the bad, terrible months of the year. They're like, nah,
Yeah,
chill.
absolutely.
Do with that. Wake me up when September.
But speaking of a giant thing with red eyes, Jake, you have the Momo the monster near you.
Oh, yeah.
so,
Momo the
so if you see
Momo.
Momo,
Yeah, that's a big local legend, especially up near the mountain portion.
yeah, he's just a big thing with 3 fingers and looks like a big Bigfoot with red eyes.
Yep. There's also a catfish we got around here. It's supposedly like 23 feet long.
What's the name of this?
I don't think it has a name.
The
Like
giant
they just,
catfish.
yeah, it's just a giant catfish. Like it,
How long did you say it is? 26 feet.
23,
23 feet.
26, somewhere
I
in
think it's
there.
like great white shark.
Somewhere in the
26.
20s. But it,
Ah,
So I think everybody has those like stories because around here it's like the divers go down at the dam and they see like the Volkswagen size catfish and stuff. I think it's like a thing
well, it's
everywhere.
near a dam too. So,
It says the
Exactly,
largest
yeah.
catfish ever caught was in the Missouri River, weighed 130 pounds.
well, yeah.
That's a big old fish.
I thought somebody in North Carolina beat that though. But they caught the biggest blue cat and it was like, I don't know. You know they call sharks up the Mississippi River, so why can't there be a
There were
something like
sharks
that up
in
there?
Minnesota.
You ever seen that the meme? It's like it shows like shark attacks, and there's like one in like
Yeah, it shows what are they doing in Missouri? Yeah,
it's like going through the woods. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. God.
Yeah, we live. We're close to Jersey. We have the Pine Barrens. That's the Jersey Devil.
We got
Jersey
Yeah.
Devil.
Oh, the Jersey Devil. I heard about
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
I used to be scared as hell as that thing as a kid for some reason.
What's like the lore behind it? What's the history of it?
Like, what I remember is like some lady had like a bunch of kids and like she was having problems having this kid, so she was like wishing that if it was gonna be this difficult, to have it be a devil or something. And then it out like a half devil looking thing, horse with like wings, and then it killed everything and went into the woods. And like, you can look that up, but that's what I kind of remember.
Yeah,
what
so-
was about.
It's the 13th child of Mother Lead, whoever that is. It
Shout out,
originated in the
Billie.
Pine Barrens. Resident named Jane Leeds, known as Mother Leeds. She had 12 children. After discovering she was pregnant for the 13th time, cursed the child in frustration, declaring that the child would be born the devil.
Oh,
In
okay, so yeah.
1735, she was in labor on a stormy night while her friends gathered around. Born as a normal child, the 13th child transformed into a creature with hooves and a goat's head, bat wings, and a forked tail. The child beat everyone with his tail, flying up the chimney and heading out into the pines. Supposedly, she was a witch, and the child's father was the devil himself. So, how about that? And
The
apparently,
other 12 children.
I think they were fine. I guess.
Yeah, this thing kind of just like swiggled away out of the chimney and went into the woods and became the.
Apparently, the clergymen tried to exorcise it from the Pine Barrens. So I don't know if they just went out in the trees and were just like, "Be gone!"
Yeah, screaming at it. Yeah.
Yeah.
With a broom and stuff. Get out of here.
But that was in the 1700s, so that's kind of cool. I don't know if
Where-
has there been sightings since then? Like,
I don't
there's
know.
no, or is that just
know.
like a folklore thing?
But they have the house you can go. I think it's still there. It might be. It's probably destroyed now, but like the house of where they say like that thing was born.
I don't know about that. Houses like up in that area, that being that old, they could still be up.
It could be. Yeah. I mean, whenever we get rich
So-
enough to go find these things, we're gonna go find everything and
Prove it
decorate a
real.
little base camp.
It said there was a wave of sightings in 1909. They even offered a $10,000 reward if you could capture it.
Whoa,
Yeah, I'll be out there every day.
$10,000 in 1909 is probably a lot.
that's a lot.
That's what
of
I'm
money.
saying. I'd be out
That
there
is a
every
lot.
day.
That's interesting.
Where's the Hellhound originally from?
Greek mythology? I don't know.
Is it? I thought it was from freaking.
I think it's old, isn't it?
I
I don't
think.
know, I'm gonna look it up.
I just
It's
remember watching
Pyramid
it
of
on
Hell, so like it could
Oh.
be from beginning of the time for all we know.
the dawn of the planet.
Yeah, they're talking about like 88, 56, like talking about it back then. So it's really old. Like the legit hell. I don't know if they have like a cryptid somewhere that's called that too, but
Yeah, I vaguely remember watching Bigfoot Hunters with Cole.
See, when I think of the Hellhound, I think of like Cerberus. Was that the three-headed?
yeah, the
dog or something?
three-headed dog. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
like mythology stuff.
But
We
I
have
guess
the
probably like in Virginia somewhere. There's probably hellhounds running around. Like, who knows?
inbred
There's
hellhounds.
there's
around.
inbred
Yeah.
hellhounds. They're out there.
That's why they got 3 heads.
But the Jersey Devil though, that thing used to creep me out.
And it's not like it's far away. 30 minutes from the border where we're at.
Yeah, we got
Yeah,
to
the Pine Barrens is
Barrens.
like a creepy little road you could take to go drive through there, and hell, you might even hit it. You never know.
just run over the Jersey Devil.
That story, the story reminds me. It's a little off topic of cryptids. It's more of a horror ghost thing.
Mhm.
But so like y'all are aware of like the Conjuring movies, right?
Of
Oh yeah,
course.
So the Conjuring house where those events took place, that
Right.
house is still up, and you can go visit it.
Oh, we're
Oh, yeah.
planning
You
on actually doing that.
yeah,
And
we're
you can
planning on
even
doing it.
you can even pay for a like overnight stay in the house.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up. Me and Dylan talked about maybe like next year potentially going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is
Chase, we'll have to-
expensive, but when you split it up among a bunch of people, it's very cheap.
So,
Chase, we'll have to show you the video, but have you seen that? Who's the guys, Cole? They're like Colby
those-
and.
Yeah,
I've
those
seen
YouTube
their
kids.
videos. Yeah.
Did you see the one where like the thing like knocks out its like his grandparents' names and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Like they have that way of talking
So-
to ghosts up there
so
now. People are trying to debunk it.
Well, yeah, I was about to say, unfortunately, they're not debunking what had happened in the house, but they're debunking those two people, the guy and the girl, that their method.
Yeah, and they came out with their own video saying how it's
Because,
real and
Because
legit.
apparently, like, you know how you could hear the footsteps? You know how you could hear the footsteps of like the
Mhm.
ghost? So apparently it's like the guy, I forgot what it's called, but it's where like you can like almost like dislocate your big toe and then slam it against the floor really hard and make it sound like a big footstep. And the way it makes it sound like it's walking away is kind of like how ventriloquists can throw their voice. He's like throwing that noise. It's like extremely hard to do.
I don't know.
But-
I
but
trust it. I
but
think
the-
it's
Well, the
real.
reason why people are skeptic about it is because people would ask him, "Do what y'all do, but take your shoes off," and he refuses to take his shoes off because then people will be able to see his toes, even if he has socks on. They'll be able to see his toes moving then.
Hmm.
But he refuses to take his shoes off.
Yeah,
So
but
I
then
heard
that's like a you'd have to like even they say in their little disclaimers and stuff like if you don't believe it, that's okay. But like if you went there and asked them questions that only you would know and stuff, and they get it all right, how could you be like?
That's true. How would they know?
How
The
could you
that?
say-
the name thing is interesting because they'll spell out the names of people there, and those people would not have told them their names.
Right. So like it's hard. How do you fake that? Like unless they're geniuses and they know everything about everybody.
They would have to have like done some crazy research before
But-
those people got
But
there to
anyway,
know.
so the Conjuring. Do y'all know like the original, like the why that building is haunted? Like not because the movie takes place of events for like in the 1970s, but like why the place is haunted took
Was
place. in,
yeah,
like,
because
the
there
early
was a
about
war.
witches.
There was a war out there, right? Like an Indian war or something like that.
So that's for the woods, but like the house itself, why it's haunted.
I thought it was something about they killed witches or people or something like that on the
Not
property.
necessarily. So from what I've researched, a couple lived there, and so when the husband got home, his wife recently gave birth, like the baby was like a week old, and when the husband got home, he saw his wife sacrificing their 1 week infant to Satan by throwing the baby into the fireplace.
Oh God.
And then she like ran off into the woods. The husband chased after her, and she like was ready to hang herself, professed her love to Satan, cursed the land and the house, and then hung herself.
That'll do
Yeah.
it.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
That's kind of creepy.
sounds like someone needs to drop some napalm on a certain house.
Yeah,
Well,
but then
no,
like,
because
if they tore
well-
that house down, what's haunted? The land or the house? Like,
It's
both.
both because if you
Both,
if you
yeah.
watch the videos, if you remember that the spirits say that there's some spirits that are in the house that can't leave the house, and there's spirits out in the woods that can't enter the house because they're like kind of like trapped.
Yeah, it's like a whole thing with like ghosts and paranormal. They're like attached to certain things. So like the only way, like that devil house, the dude from Ghost Hunters or whatever bought, like he had to burn it down. That was the only way to get rid of like the demons or whatever.
He burned the place down with like a bunch of sage to cleanse it.
Yeah, it was like the devil house or whatever. Or you remember that, Cole? Like he bought it and then he ended up burning it down, or
The,
they burned it down or
the
something.
Zach Baggins guy.
Yeah,
Yeah, he bought that house. Yeah, then they tore it down.
yeah.
But it had like a portal to hell in the basement. It was like the
Yeah.
scariest house or something.
something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah, it is interesting, and like as someone that's a skeptic, because I've never like seen ghosts in real life or like had any real life experiences, it'd be interesting to experience something like that.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Well, we're gonna do it. We're all gonna go. We're gonna
I mean-
record an episode of the podcast in the Conjuring
I
house.
mean, hey, they
Count
say
me
you
in.
can bring your own you can bring your own stuff and go ghost hunting and shit. So we should go do it.
So I found something here.
Oh yeah,
So this is back to the the cryptids here.
Right.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the Loveland frog?
No.
No.
Now I'm gonna put a picture here in this.
Okay.
There's
Let's
the
see
picture.
it.
That's the description that they've rendered.
There he is.
It's a big frog.
It's a 4-foot tall frog allegedly spotted in Loveland, Ohio in 1972.
He walks on 2 feet.
You had me at Ohio, so it's
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
On March 3rd, 1972, at 1 p.m., Loveland police officer Ray Shockey was driving on Riverside Drive near the Totes Boot Factory in the Little Miami River when an unidentified animal scurried across the road in front of his vehicle. The animal was fully illuminated in the vehicle's headlights, as he described it to be a 3 to 4 foot long and about 50 to 75 pounds with leathery skin. He reported the animal crouched like a frog before it momentarily stood erect to climb over the guardrail and back down towards the river. 2 weeks after the incident, a second Loveland police officer, Mark Matthews, reported seeing an unidentified animal crouched along the road in the same vicinity as Shockey's sighting. Matthews shot the animal, recovered the body, put it in his trunk to show Officer Shockey. According to Matthews, it was a large iguana about 3 to 3.5 feet long. He didn't immediately recognize it because it was missing its tail. According to
So it
Matthews,
was an
Shockey was
iguana?
shown the dead iguana and confirmed the animal he had seen for 2 weeks previously. Matthew recounted the incident to an author of a book about urban legends, saying the author opted out the part that confirmed the creature was an iguana rather than a frogman, and the book was later published.
So it just was an iguana? Is that
So it was
or
an
the first guy
iguana
not
that
believe
was
it?
walking on its hind legs, basically.
Yeah.
They
It
can
was-
do that.
It
I
was
think, right?
a 3-foot iguana without its tail.
Oh, so that's why it looks.
Yeah. So how do you don't know what the hell that is? Because
Yeah, it looked like a frog. Okay. that
Hey,
makes
listen,
sense.
listen. It may have been a prince that just didn't have a princess to kiss him.
Yeah, he
Well,
didn't
you know?
kiss her.
Well,
Like-
here's some more things here. In 2023, the Loveland Frog has become the city's mascot, dressed as a frog prince, debuted in the city's second annual Hearts of Fire Weekend celebration.
yeah, there we go.
We got the swamp or like the lizard man here or some.
You're about to say, were you about to say swamp puppy?
No, not swamp puppy.
That's a
the
Florida thing.
guy that boops him on the head. No,
Yeah.
no. I think we have the lizard man. Supposedly like a big bipedal lizard dude. I don't know. I've never put much thought into it.
I remember I used to watch those shows when they would go hunt stuff, and like they had cars that would have like big bite marks taken out of it, saying like the lizard man would come out and bite your car and stuff.
Oh yeah, that's like one of the big evidence things is this old lady had something attack her for whatever reason. The car was like sitting in the carport, and it fucked it up, dude. And I think even like the Mythbusters or somebody tried to do it,
I think
They
like,
did-
this was like a Josh Gates thing. I think he was the one
Or
who
maybe
went
they
and
did.
looked for it.
but like it was on the news and stuff, and it like literally like they had the car and like there's huge teeth marks and like jaw, like you could see where it like took the fenders and like bit them and like bent it up and stuff.
Mhm.
And they were trying to determine like what kind of animal could have done it or why it would do it. Maybe it was like a rabid dog, but they don't think the dog had enough bite force to do it because I don't know if Mythbusters did it or maybe Josh Gates, but they had take like a mechanical jaw that they made and they could put like so much like pounds per square inch on it to like try to match it and stuff. It was kind of interesting. But they claim that was a lizard man. I don't know.
That's
Could've been.
interesting.
But that whole news, it was like on the news and stuff. That's been years ago. That's been like 20, 30 years ago, probably.
What do y'all think of the Loch Ness monster?
Boy,
Time
there's a
travel.
lot to unpack there. Lot to unpack.
A lot.
Yeah, time travels.
Yeah, they say time travel.
Time travels.
Yeah, he uses freaking limestone.
Limestone. Yeah.
What?
I think they had that on like Ancient Aliens. Honestly, they said
did.
like the Loch Ness Lake has limestone in it, and if you get a bunch of limestone together, you can time travel, and that's why the Loch Ness monster you can't find it if it's there because it's out time traveling somewhere.
See, I think
I don't know,
I think it was real, but I think it's not necessarily time traveling. I think it was something that was like a some sort of sea creature that was in the, spotted down.
I'd
these
always
logs.
thought it was that like the what is that thing from Jurassic Park? Like
the fish kind of
the
dinosaur.
the big
dinosaur?
fish.
Yeah.
The big
Yeah,
fish.
with like the long neck and the fins.
Plesiosaur or something.
Yeah, I always thought maybe it was like a leftover one of those, but
It looks like Lapras.
I've never. Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Lapras. That's what it was. But I don't think I'm not a huge believer in the Loch Ness monster because they've taken, unless it's time traveling, obviously, or it can get out of the water and walk around. They've scanned the whole lake before, and it's like it's either hiding in a cave or it doesn't exist. Like I don't.
See, I don't think it's around anymore. I think it was, I think it existed like in the 30s, like when they took the pictures and stuff like that when it first like came up. But I think I think there's a lot of things in the water that no one knows what it is, or there's all sorts of different stuff that
If it was in the ocean, I would be more to believe it. Like there's probably a
yeah,
sea monster in the ocean,
Well, the locks
but not like a
connect
lake.
to the ocean.
No, I thought it was landlocked. It used to be or something, right?
Well, I'm not too sure about
Let me take a
the
look.
Loch Ness, but it's a big lock. So I think
Yeah,
it's
but
actually-
There's a
lake, I
big
mean-
nest in there.
So I believe in the Loch Ness monster, but again, I believe in almost anything like that because life's pretty boring if you don't.
Yeah.
What about
it is.
Megalodon?
It is.
What about what?
That's real.
Billy, welcome
Megalodon.
back.
The Megalodon is real. It's a big shark.
They found him.
And Sharknado.
Sure.
So the
You
lock.
I
see
don't
the
know.
Meg
I
too,
think we found him in the Meg too, in the trench.
Oh gosh, let's not support the Chinese propaganda.
So,
We love the government. We love the Chinese government. Wow, what a place.
Taiwan
there
is
is
real.
there is that crazy picture from like World War II with the shark next to the sub,
Yeah,
and it's,
Oh,
just
yeah.
wild.
it's like 60 foot long or whatever.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's insane.
You ever seen that one, Jace?
No, I haven't.
No,
I have-
See if I can find
I have
it.
never
It's
seen
pretty
that
wild.
either.
There was the that I always remember. I don't necessarily believe it as much now, but I know as a kid I thought I was just shocked by it. Was that Discovery Channel documentary they did that went so viral about the 40-foot shark?
Yeah.
I always remember that.
I don't
Yep.
know if I remember that one or not, but there's the picture of the
Yeah.
64-foot shark.
on the Loch Ness, it does connect to the
Damn.
North Sea.
Okay, so maybe there was some sort
Yeah,
of
it's a-
creature in there and it just got out.
Yeah. So I think there was something there. I don't think it exists anymore, or at least
Or it could
it's
leave.
traveled.
Yeah, it could leave and come back to the lock and post for some pictures.
Dude, imagine being those people on that boat seeing that fucking shark.
That's a submarine. So
That's the sub. Yeah, like that's crazy. Like
I'd be scared shitless.
so
If
the
I was in a
only
submarine, yeah.
the only thing you can take from this, it's either that's just between the fins, like that's its tail
Right,
and that's its
Yeah.
pectoral fin or whatever, right? It's 64 feet, so it's actually probably like 80 to 100 feet long. The only thing is if that's two separate sharks, and like the one in
Yeah,
the back
that's what
is,
I was thinking also.
yeah, just the way it's angled, it looks like one shark. You know,
yeah. I mean,
it could be two, and even if it is two, that one's pretty
the
big.
big first one.
First one
first
is
one's
pretty
just
big.
big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't fuck with the first one.
They're both really big in the retrospect
yeah.
of sharks.
Yeah, when you see it right next to that submarine, those are some really big fins.
Probably
I
trying to
think-
hunt it.
Even
that
if it
front
is
one
two,
is
it's-
huge.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't know, and I don't know if I believe the whole it's below in the Marianas Trench and all that shit. I don't know about all that.
No. Yeah.
It would have to be like blind, be in the dark, and all that stuff. Like, I
It'd be
don't
like one of those lantern fish.
Yeah.
know. Yeah, exactly.
Lure in your prey with your light and then just eat it.
Yeah. And when you get down deep enough in there, you can't hunt nothing without a light.
But see, that's what's crazy. Like, okay, there's fish like that exist. Just imagine all the stuff they haven't ever seen.
Yeah, it's way
And that's
down
what-
there.
That's the whole thing with like Bigfoot. What if it's just like no one's ever took it serious enough to try to like capture one? I mean, I don't know.
And I think a lot of people don't take it serious enough to even make it seem real. Like there are a lot of people that believe in it, and a lot of people that just don't want to believe in it because they don't think it's real.
Yeah, because all of them are either like fake TV shows or people like us with no backing whatsoever, like trying to capture this thing. Like, there's no one's ever gonna do it.
Yeah.
Well, at least in my opinion, like obviously we haven't seen like enough like solid proof, but even like I still think there is like Bigfoot. It could be like a monkey or something that's gotten out or something. You know, like I said, with the government could have done something, and there's also well, it could be a monkey.
Well, it could be a
Imagine-
scapegoat. Yeah, like a
But imagine if like the government took a monkey and did something to him. You know.
they took like
Yeah,
a
they
gorilla
threw
and
them-
experimented on it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of scenarios you could come up with. But
Yeah, we
even
could
if
talk
none of
about
them
that all
are,
day.
it's still like the idea of these little stories, no matter if it's cryptids or what, all these, different things. I just think it's cool that these exist, these little small
Right.
town folklore
It'd be
stuff.
boring if not.
Exactly. And some
So
of
I don't
them,
know about.
we don't know
Oh, go
which
ahead,
ones could be
Sergeant.
real, too. That's like all sorts of these, probably most of these things are probably not real or not, but half these things, there's some of the stuff that could.
Well, it's there's so many sightings and things, and we know mostly of everybody is stupid as hell. But even if like 5% of like the things is real, that's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm. Well, and there's the.
Like you could.
You go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say you could probably discredit like 90% of all Bigfoot sightings, but what's the other 10%? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
A lot of them, it's like the better pictures and stuff is, again, going back to being like out in the woods and stuff, a lot of it deals with right time, right place,
Yeah.
Well, it
Yeah,
has
some
to
of these
be
people-
something. It's one of them
Yeah.
has to be something of it's odd.
The only way we're gonna prove it nowadays is with a body, because with AI and deepfakes, you don't know what's real anymore.
Mhm.
But like the moment someone shoots one and says, "There it is,"
Now,
which that's happened before. I don't know if that's where you were going to, Snoop, but the Minnesota
Yeah.
Iceman. I don't know if you've heard of that.
I was
or
going to
not.
get into, like they did produce a body,
Right, and the government took it, but
Yes, and then,
Well, even, and I'm gonna mention like even like the alien thing in Mexico or whatever they had, like
mhm.
we don't even know
Roswell.
if that's really well. There was that, but I'm talking about like the thing recently they had like that body that I think that's at least fake. There's like
That
that
thing
little,
looks so fake.
yeah, the little 2-foot thing. Like I don't think
that's
in-
Mexico, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
that's probably
no
fake.
scenario I think where people are gonna believe anything, even if they do find stuff.
now, it said you did kill the Bigfoot, right? Like, I'm definitely removing a limb from it in case the government wants it, and I'm hiding the limb somewhere. Because they'll come and, like, take the body just to shut
Right.
you up. But if you have, like, a whole arm of it,
Just
So
a toenail. Or
I mean,
something.
the Minnesota Iceman story, right?
yeah.
and
this
a
is
lot of
good.
this is, I mean, it happened.
Yeah, I like this
Whether you
story.
believe it was a real Bigfoot or not, but it was like an old army. You have to help me. I think it was like an retired army captain or something. Him and his buddies went hunting. They would do like a hunting trip or something in Minnesota, and he was off by himself. And apparently, come up on like a ridge or something, and there was like 3 Bigfoot had killed something, like an elk or a fucking deer or something. And I think it goes the big one in the front is obviously like the alpha male. He's like aggressive. So it like charged the guy and he shot it and killed it. But he was so scared he didn't tell anybody and he just left it there. And come back to the camp and like he was acting weird and his buddies didn't know like why. And I guess he went back like after by himself and put it like I guess he loaded up in his truck and took it home. And he put it in like a deep freezer in the yeah, there it is. There's a picture of it. Or like a recreation of it. But they put it in the deep freezer and left it in his basement. And so there's an actual picture, Jake. I don't know if you can find it of it, like the actual picture of it, because
Let me see.
some dudes from like a college coming in and like did like research on it. Like it's got like it's a male, like you can see its wiener and everything. Like it's like a legit thing, but it was
There's
like
a-
frozen.
There's a bunch of pictures. Oh yeah, so here's the. It almost looks like a drawing or like an X-ray kind of thing, but
Yeah, that's probably it. That's it. Yeah. So there's
Yeah.
a picture of it. And so the story goes, like you can see it. You see its wiener right there. So the story goes. So the story goes This guy was big into like antique fucking tractors or something stupid, and he would go on like these trips like fairs with his tractors, and he took that with him and advertised it as like the Neanderthal or something. Come see the Iceman or like the Caveman or something. And like
Right.
like people comment on it like remembering going as kids and paying like 50 cents to see this thing.
Well,
And
in 2013, a man named Steve Busty, who owns the Museum of Weird in Texas, has placed it on public display, where you can see it now.
we'll see the story goes, he went to Canada for one of his shows and the Canadian government confiscated it, and that's what happened to it.
Yeah, so here it says when he discovered it in the region of Siberia, and as acting as caretaker for an absentee owner, he described it as an eccentric California millionaire touring carnivals with fairs and exhibits. Hansen was once reportedly detained by Canadian customs officials who were concerned he was transporting a cadaver, which is a dead body. Like the medical term for a dead body. The FBI was informed the subject might potentially be a human murder victim, but the agency did not investigate, possibly due to believing it was a hoax. And
So Wikipedia has it. Well, you know, it's Wikipedia. You can change it, but they said it's a elaborate hoax. But from when I remember watching videos on it, the people from whatever college come and like did like tests on it and stuff, and it was like a real creature. So I don't,
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be a hoax, I guess. But
It-
if they're
it was-
thinking it's a murder victim, obviously they thought it was real enough to.
well, that was
confiscate it,
back
you
in
know?
the 60s when they found it.
Mhm.
There's another story about that. I don't know if you remember that guy that was he was wounded and captured by a Bigfoot and taken back to the camp where it had kids and stuff.
Yeah, he like was he wounded or did it just take him in his sleeping bag or something?
Well, it took him, but he was wounded when he got there, and then he managed to escape.
Yeah, I remember them like sitting around the cave, and there was like little Bigfoot, and he was like just yeah, I remember that story.
Yeah, that one, like, that's believable to an extent, but I don't think it would have kept him alive. That's the thing that makes me not think it's believable.
So, what do you think about the missing 411 people? You think Bigfoot, like, because all of those are near cave systems? You think Bigfoot?
I think it's pretty easy to say it's Bigfoot. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that
Mm.
it is, but like it could be Bigfoot that's taking people, and they're just letting it happen. You know,
Like you think Bigfoot's eating these people?
Oh yeah, 100%.
I guess so. I never thought Bigfoot of that. I thought he was just like, you know, he didn't. I mean, he'll fuck you up, but like, I don't think he like eats people. But
You think
Maybe,
he's that chill?
yeah.
He'll just take your beef jerky like in those
yeah,
commercials.
he just
and
takes your beef jerky.
then just goes.
Well, realistically, what do you think his diet is? He's got to have some protein, no? He can't be.
Yeah,
a
they're
vegan.
eating
Well,
deer and
he's
stuff.
he's eating like that raccoon right there, or like like
Yeah,
deer.
deer and stuff.
maybe
He's like an
maybe he'll
omnivore, I'm
wrestle a
sure.
bear, and then when he wins, he just takes the bear with him. You know.
No,
bet
I
you
like
they
to
do fight bears.
Yeah, I like to think that bears can stand a chance against him.
He's
Especially
got,
like Kodiak bears, they're like big.
he's got that
I don't know.
Jack Link's commercial money.
He's got that big money. Big money Mitch.
I don't know, dude, because some of those videos I see of him where they're throwing the trees and shit, like, I don't think the bear's gonna be fucking with him. Like, I think he fucks up a bear.
No, I bet he can know how to make like some kind of weaponry out of stuff and can use.
Oh.
He's too smart. He's way too smart.
Yeah.
He can fight a bear.
Well,
See,
they
I
have
agree
those.
Good.
Well, I was gonna say something about them being smart. They have the those little teepees they make, and like they turn the trees and break the branches so they can mark their territory and stuff. I
Yeah,
think
no
that's kinda
bear
cool.
does that. So it's
Yeah,
and they're living in the same woods, the same wilderness, same climate. Like I think a Bigfoot fucks up a bear 9 times out of 10. So,
What about family of bears?
which
I mean-
family's a Bigfoot? So I mean,
Yeah. I'm glad Cole brought
the
up
homies?
what he did because I was out hunting yesterday and I was going to take a picture and send it to Cole. There was like 3 small, like, I don't know, not real small, but like, about fist size or bigger. They were bent over and stuck back into the ground on the other side. And it's like, what animal does that? The tree didn't grow that way.
right.
Bigfoot, dude.
Yeah, Bigfoot does that.
They had that
So-
picture of that's recent from North Carolina where there's that big boulder that got thrown like into the trees or something. There's like a picture of it, and they're like, nothing's throwing a 800-pound boulder except like
Where's
Bigfoot.
that picture? I want to see that picture.
I don't know if I
I
can
didn't
find it.
see
It was on my
this.
social media.
Oh, okay.
I'll see if I can find it. Probably might not, but we'll see.
Yeah, because that's wild. Imagine being in,
things like
There's
imagine like
Bigfoot.
seeing that. Not seeing it, but imagine like going and like looking at where the boulder was thrown, like plowed through trees and stuff.
yeah, I'm gonna have a hard time finding that. I'll be honest with you.
That's alright. Don't worry about it. But I'm just saying that's wild. You know, I mean, even if you weren't there to witness it, just seeing the aftermath of what
Yeah,
a
it's
boulder.
like a guy found it in the woods.
Yeah.
That you
Like, how does that end up like that?
You'd have to
So the
have
only
like
thing,
a forklift or something and drop that there.
Squanta.
Bigfoot
Well-
might have been forklift certified.
It may have been. You
Is
never know.
Bigfoot forklift certified?
So the only thing is, if it was near like a mountain, I could see where it'll like fall off the mountain or something. But, yeah,
That is odd.
that's probably that's how they'll explain it. Is like it fell off a mountain and like rolled off and like that's where it landed
That
or
would-
whatever. But
They could.
that's not as
Yeah.
fun.
Like that had to have been multiple years and years and years if they put it there or something, you know? Because I couldn't see that thing falling. It doesn't look like there's nothing unless we see that backside. It doesn't seem like there's nothing.
So, and you look at like the trees too; they're not impacted at all where the rock is sitting. So, like if you think if it fell off a mountain going God knows how
would've-
fast,
It would have tore that tree in half. Yeah.
right? So, it kind of looks like it was just sat on top of the fucking trees. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's strange.
The one on the left there, like, it's not even broke all the way. Like, it's just
Mm-mm.
starting to, like, fall. You know what I mean? You don't see, like, the splintering and shit yet.
It's
Yeah.
interesting, but they find stuff like that in the woods all the time. Like the teepees are very interesting, where they'll find them in the middle of freaking nowhere, where they've made like little teepees out of trees and stuff.
Yeah.
Like they've crossed
cool
them, and you can see where they pulled them up out of the ground, and it's kind of wild.
Yeah, there's a lot out there, you know? You never know.
Hmm But I mean, I know
Some
there's
of-
a lot of fake stuff too, but it's
Yeah.
just Bigfoot's fascinating. So
Yeah,
So
but
are
we talk.
y'all-
We
so,
talk
like-
about it. We talk about that one day when we have enough money. We're gonna go find him, and
absolutely.
that's
So of all-
that's our dream to go Bigfoot hunting. Wake up one day and not have to go to work and just be like, "Hey, we're gonna go look for Bigfoot," and then we're gonna go find him.
So of all the cryptids, y'all are more inclined to believe Bigfoot is real rather than any other cryptid.
Yeah.
I think Bigfoot's more real than the Loch Ness monster.
I mean, that one that Cole said.
I mean, we
yeah,
have the
I'm not-
squonk or whatever, but like, I think I don't know that. Yeah, I'm a big Bigfoot guy. I want to say he's real and out there, and he's just hard to get clear pictures and video of. I mean, we have the Patterson film. That's the famous one. I think that's 100% a Bigfoot. I mean,
That's a gold standard
people-
right there.
people say, "Oh, it's fake. It's a guy in a monkey suit." But even Hollywood back in Planet of the Apes say they couldn't have even done something to make it look that real.
Dude, they've tried to debunk that thing so many times, and every time
They
they
just
don't.
can't.
Can't.
I mean, you can
Guys are
see the
either
muscle
geniuses-
movement.
Yeah, it's got breast. It has muscle movement. Like the
Uh,
proportions are all right.
Like
Like
you had to start with the breasts. Like
yeah, it's a female.
They
It
say
has
it's a
boobs.
female. Yeah, you
Oh,
can have
really?
boobies.
Yeah. So these guys are either geniuses, or it's real.
And just for the time period, looking at a suit like that, we couldn't even done it. You couldn't have done it.
Because
Yeah.
the Planet of the Apes come out after that, and the guy that made those suits said he couldn't have done it. So
Well,
Yeah,
in-
his suits were like horrible. Sorry, God, I love the movie.
at the time it
originals,
was
but-
great, but like,
Yeah,
you know, obviously for the technology, but realistically you can't. But even like, you also got to think about like, imagine if like a massive studio did it. Even if they were able to accomplish it, they would be marketing off of it. It wouldn't just
Right.
be stuff for random people. Like they wouldn't want normal people to like, because think of all the merchandising and everything that's come out of it.
yeah.
So even if it
You would-
was a massive studio or something would do it, like they're not making money out of it.
You would also
the amount of
have-
money they would have spent to make that one-off alone, and that one-off film of it walking would have been
Yeah, for like a
outstandingly expensive.
10-second clip of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would also
Yeah.
have people, if it was like a studio filming it, you would also have people leaking
Yeah.
it, saying
Yeah.
it's fake
Yeah.
because.
But there
I
was only the
wouldn't
two
look on it.
guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those guys couldn't have done it. Like,
And
no
I
way.
mean, look at them. You just look at them. You think they really
What
did
you
it?
saying that you saying they don't look smart?
no,
No,
I'm
I'm
just saying
saying,
that
do you
they
really
didn't
think
have.
that's-
They didn't seem like they have the resources and stuff to.
Yeah.
Not
pull
even
that
that.
big
It's
of a
just
thing. And what is
like,
their
looking at-
gain? What are they looking for
Yeah.
out of it? Like,
thank you.
Yeah,
That's
you
what I was
get-
getting
That's
at.
what
What
I
you were
was
saying. Yeah.
yeah.
Those
you
are the
get
people you trust that they're not looking to gain any gain from something. Because so why would they make something up if they're not gaining anything?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They'd have to have some sort of reimbursement. They're not going to go to all this sort of trouble that it doesn't seem like they even have the possibilities of doing just to be known for what happened.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the gold standard for Bigfoot stuff. I mean, they've had some cool ones come out since then, but that one is just.
It's like a
Like-
staple. I mean,
Mhm.
So that's why we're saying
Like-
the Loveland frog is real.
Well,
Yeah,
it
like the
was.
swamp.
It was an iguana.
That's what they want you
But
to
like
think.
I mean,
The guy I showed Cole on YouTube, like he can break down like he was breaking down body proportions and stuff, and like all humans have the same body proportion, and like he can take some videos, and like depending on the torso and arm length versus the legs length, can say that's a guy in a monkey suit, and then in some of them he's like, that's not a that's something else, and kind of interesting. So like he can find the fake ones, but also the ones that he doesn't, he's like, well, that's probably real. Because it's hard to fake like arm length and torso length and have it all move, and like it'd be a job to try to fake all that.
oh yeah. And to get everything to look right and move right.
Yep. Because like
Hey,
that
can you have a story about you saw Bigfoot one time or something? You wanted to talk about?
No.
I remember we were discussing it. That you said you tell yourself it was a Bigfoot.
Oh, that was just me and a buddy. We I think we were camping or something. Like that part's kind of foggy to me still, but we remember seeing like these giant eyes, and so for years it was always we saw Bigfoot. We still don't know what it was. It could have been like even a bear or something. It could have been something way like legitly dangerous, but we saw something, and from that point on, we saw Bigfoot or something creepy. That
It could have been.
oh yeah,
It could have.
yeah, it was something. But I mean, I grew up in the Northwest where it was like everything was Bigfoot.
Were you taken, Jake, at one point?
No, I've infiltrated the Amish.
the Amish took him.
I've infiltrated.
I want to have a Bigfoot sighting already. Go. Everyone's lucky
Yeah.
that says they get to see him.
Yeah, it's one thing I've never seen. Seen ghosts.
For all I know,
No.
it could have been the Loveland frog.
I don't know how many people in here. I know, but me on. Every time I go out in the woods, I'm always looking for something like
Mhm.
for Bigfoot. Like I'm out there to hunt deer or pheasant or whatever, but I'm always looking for something. Just a little glimpse of something.
So that's
You know?
that's like a whole thing, man. It's like I was telling you about the guy in Florida. If they're anything even remotely close to the ones he catches on video, you'll never know they're there. Like you could be out there hunting all the time, and like they could be watching you, and you
You just
wouldn't
be
know.
watching. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's creepy. But like, if you're hearing bird noises and you're hearing all kind of creatures frolic around, there's probably nothing there. But like, one of those days you walk in there and it's dead silent.
Ominously
You smell
quiet.
a little something funny.
Yeah.
That's creepy then. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and this is why I look for it in general, because where I go in, I actually take a boat.
Bless you.
So I'm trying not to.
Golly. Who the hell shit over there?
I thought it was a chair.
Okay. Anyway, now it's always that I was rudely interrupted. No. I can.
Do we need a bathroom break?
Oh, Billy's still sick.
That was a big good call.
Anyway, like I was
That's
trying to
one of
say,
them tree knocks.
It's them. What's the Sierra Nevada sounds or whatever it is?
Yeah.
he was outside the window.
Was that
my
Billy who
God.
shit himself? Was that-
Yeah.
What?
Billy hasn't said anything for 15 minutes and just
And that's
shit
what we got.
everywhere.
Are you better
Oh
now?
my God,
You tell me
that
better?
was- That was funny. I did not think that my mic would pick that up, but knowing my
It's-
history with mics, everything gets picked up. So I was like, you know, what,
Yeah, that could have been your
I could
neighbor.
let this
bro.
one slide, and it just went. Brr. I'm like, oh. So-
Okay, Stu, go ahead. with what you were gonna
If you're
say.
on a
Yes,
boat and you're going fast, and
So, Cole knows the dam up the road to Francis E. Walter. We take a boat, and when you land up where we hunt, you're easily, 5 to 7 miles away from any road, and it's kind of like landlocked. There's there's a creek on the one side and the Lehigh River on the other side, and then it's like 7-8 miles back to like the nearest road, like actual road. So when you're out there, like you're in the middle of nowhere. That's why I always want to look for it, because that's kind of like where you'd find one, like way out in nowhere. You're vulnerable. There's only one way out. Like he sinks the boat and you're stuck there like a horror film. But
But
one
the-
glimpse or one picture is all I want.
yeah, we're gonna capture him soon. Like,
Yeah, we'll have him on the podcast.
We'll
He'll
bring
have a
him
mic.
in on the podcast.
Yeah.
He'll be live.
That's
in
our
person.
plan.
That'll be the
Well,
first
you got it.
live cam podcast. Was
So-
with him.
that's like that dude. Well, he's not. I don't put much into Todd Standing, but he's like a Bigfoot guy.
Mhm.
And you remember, Dave? You remember him
Oh, we
talking
used to
about
watch
they were
a
gonna.
lot of outstanding.
I know, but he's a hoax guy.
know.
But I think maybe he caught something one time and has just been faking it ever since or something. But he they had a whole plan of talking about like going and killing a Bigfoot and stuff. And like the military guy, like some military dudes were gonna get his help or some crap. And but he was talking about like since they're families, right? If you shot one, the rest of them are gonna come and fuck you up. So
Yeah.
Well, you can disagree with me or agree with this, but I've read something somewhere, probably on Wikipedia or something, like it says that they have pheromones like most animals, so if you killed one, it lets
Mhm.
off like a scent, so the other ones know or whatever.
Yeah.
So I believe exactly what you said. Like if you kill one, like the other ones are probably the mate or yearlings or whatever they are going to come and
yeah. So that's another thing too. Is like well, why haven't we ever found a body? A lot of people think, well, one, they either eat it, or they're like humans and they have like a burial. They do something with it, like when one
Yeah.
dies of old age or something.
Imagine finding a grave of like a couple of them.
Because predators are kind of the same way. Like if a bear gets sick and knows it's going to die, you don't find that many like predator bones because they go and hide and like wherever they go.
Yeah,
So
I've shot in coyotes before and like left them lay, and you come back like the next day and they're gone, like they're eaten or drug off.
hmm
So it's just the way predators
I mean,
are.
vultures are also a thing.
yeah, vultures are a thing too. But
Yeah, but
Like
no,
they'll see something as small as like a coyote, and they'll take it.
yeah, it could be a explanation too. But I mean,
I'm
you
about
ever
to
seen
say,
a time lapse of
even
a
as big as like deer? Like there are vultures that can lift deer.
yeah? Well, even like a time lapse of a deer decomposing, it doesn't take very long, especially in like the summertime.
yeah, once they pretty much get hit, they're already on their way out within a couple hours, starting to decompose and stuff.
But see, that's the thing is bones. Like they're looking for bones,
Yeah,
and they don't eat bones usually. Now, like squirrels and stuff will.
I eat the
I think,
bones.
but
I mean, also bugs will take the bones as well.
mm-hmm. So I don't know.
Yeah, they're out there somewhere. I believe that.
But yeah, I definitely think there's something going on in them woods out there.
Something up in them hills.
There's too many of them woods. That's
There's so many sightings and so many like footprints and like I just don't think every bit of it is not real and fake. One of them has to be real, and it only takes one.
There's no way they're all fake. There has to be something, and no matter what it is, even if it's something that maybe
the Patterson
is not,
film.
yeah,
That's the one.
well, yeah, it's
Well,
like
that's the gold
But-
standard for
That's
sure.
the
like,
pioneer of Bigfoot. Stuff.
no matter what it is, even if it's like Bigfoot, the frog, anything, whatever it is, one of them's got to be real. And even if it's like a bear or a monkey or something, like there could be a monkey escape from a zoo at some point, and like they said, it was Bigfoot. No one knows. Even something like that's just cool.
There's like thousands of sightings of Bigfoots and feet. Like, what's that whole thing with Dr. Meldrum with the mid-tarsal break where their foot can like move in half, and like humans don't do that. It's hard to replicate and stuff. Like I'm kind of like a
No,
like an 8 foot has, you know.
Mm-hmm.
that's like wild to think that they can do that. I mean, it's also disgusting. I think.
Well, I mean, if they're between a human and an ape, which is what I kind of think,
Yeah.
makes sense.
No, we're talking all about like the Bigfoot, but like the Yeti as well. Like,
Yeah.
they gotta be like well adapted to live in the mountains. And I think there's a reason nobody really sees the Yetis, and it's because, I mean, we stand in that cold temperatures for that long to go up and like look for one. I mean, God.
I think though they see them a lot. Like if you ask the local people, because I mean it's just a big
yeah.
snowy mountain. Like you can see like things like leaving tracks.
I mean,
and-
yeah, any local people, they have legends of the Yeti.
Well, I only trust Sherpas, so I'd have to hear it from a Sherpa.
Yeah, like the Sherpers that take people to Mount Everest and stuff, they talk about them all the time. I'm pretty sure.
Well, Chase should know because he's from there.
Yeah.
I am not
Chase.
from there.
You're from
Well,
Nepal.
are you gonna, nothing? Chase? Anything?
I got nothing about them. I don't know anything.
I think you do. You're right,
I
man.
think it's time for J Paul's words of advice. Do
I
y'all
thought-
think that?
I think J-Paw believes in Bigfoot.
Let's
I
find
think
out.
he does.
Let's find out. See what J-Paw has to say.
Don't make big decisions so long after sunset and so far from dawn.
And that was J. Paw's words of advice. Join us next week for everyone's favorite segment.
Beautiful.
That might have been the best one yet, I think.
Legendary.
It was.
I think when we go out looking for Bigfoot, we'll probably use that advice to help us out.
Absolutely.
exactly.
And we'll have J Paul at the forefront.
He's the
Well,
pioneer.
He make,
The pioneer himself.
he'll make a cameo.
J-Paw versus Bigfoot. Find out.
They'll negotiate.
Stay tuned for the episode where
Stay tuned.
J-Paw fights Bigfoot.
Oh God.
He'll use the AI voice to distract him while he.
He gives Bigfoot advice about how to live in the woods.
He sits him down.
Is that
Sits
where
down,
he's
has a heart to
getting the
heart.
advice? From Bigfoot, we just
You
don't.
think
We don't know it.
Bigfoot's telling him? Okay.
He knows.
I
Bigfoot.
was thinking maybe J-Paw has told Bigfoot how to not be seen. That's
That
the
could be
gives him
true.
advice.
That could be
No
fair.
one has seen J-Paw, so
That's true too.
J-Paw,
Is
is
J-Paw
J-Paw
real?
real? I don't know.
Put that in the comments.
I don't know. But is there anything anyone needs to tell the fans out there?
Yeah, if you if you like this podcast, make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the bell for the latest notifications so you can follow us week in and week out.
Available on all platforms.
Thanks for
Literally
listening.
Every platform.
I know we're
see you
a
next
week
week.
late, but happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Yeah,
What he
happy
said.
Thanksgiving.
Yep, happy
Goodbye.
Thanksgiving.
Pizza and wings.